From explosive on-course clashes to heated locker room blowouts, these are the unforgettable moments when golf pros absolutely hate each other. And first, we start with number 9. Michelle Wie was the young golf prodigy everyone had their eyes on, balancing her LPGA dreams with her studies at Stanford. And then there was Annika Sorenstam, a living legend in women's golf with a reputation as one of the fiercest competitors around. For Annika, watching Michelle split her time between academics and professional golf, it didn't sit right. To her, it seemed like Michelle wasn't fully committed to the game, and you could feel that there was something about to happen. Then came the 2007 Ginn Tribute, a tournament hosted by none other than Sorenstam herself. Michelle was struggling hard. She was just 5 shots away from triggering the LPGA's dreaded Rule of 88, which would have banned her from competing for a year. But with 2 holes left, she suddenly withdrew, citing a wrist injury. Now, keep in mind, Michelle had been dealing with wrist issues that year, so the withdrawal seemed somewhat reasonable at first. But just 2 days later, Michelle was back on that same course, practicing for the LPGA Championship. You can bet that got people talking, and Annika was absolutely furious. She slammed Michelle's withdrawal as disrespectful, saying it disrespected the tournament, the players, and the game itself. Turns out, Michelle's wrist wasn't the only thing giving out that week. Her patience for Annika's did too. Alright, here's number 8. Starting with the 2016 Ryder Cup, Rory McIlroy versus Patrick Reed. Picture this, it's Sunday singles, the crowds are buzzing, and these 2 powerhouses are toe-to-toe in one of the most unforgettable matchups the Ryder Cup has ever seen. Reed's intensity fed the roaring crowd, and Rory wasn't about to back down, firing up his own energy with big putts and bold shushes to the fans. Now, fast forward to 2023, and that competitive tension between Rory and Patrick hadn't fizzled one bit. This time, it was in Dubai, and things got real personal. Reed, now playing for Live Golf, spotted Rory on the driving range and walked over to say hello. But Rory? He wasn't having it. He kept his eyes down, completely ignoring Reed's approach. Reed, clearly feeling the cold shoulder, casually tossed a tee in Rory's direction. A small, almost playful move that exploded into what everyone started calling Teagate. When reporters asked Rory about it, he didn't hold back, saying he'd expect a lawsuit if he'd done the same. The comment wasn't just a dig, it was a nod to the legal drama between them, as Rory had received a Christmas Eve subpoena from Reed's lawyer. Reed shot back, calling Rory childish. And just like that, the rivalry hit a whole new level. From 2 childish grown-ups to the other, but next up, they take it to an even worse level. Number 7. Now this is a rivalry that goes way, way back. Tiger Woods and Sergio Garcia. These 2 couldn't be more different, and that contrast has kept their feud simmering for decades. Tiger's the ultimate silent killer on the course. Intense, mysterious, rarely letting anyone get close. And Sergio? He's the complete opposite. Outspoken, fiery, and not afraid to speak his mind, even when it lands him in hot water. The first sparks flew at the 1999 PGA Championship. Young and cocky, Sergio tried to challenge Tiger with a bold blind shot from behind a tree, sprinting up the fairway to watch it land. But Tiger? Totally unfazed. He kept his cool, took the win, and left Sergio in the dust. Fast forward to 2013 and their feud hit a boiling point. At an awards dinner, Sergio made a comment about serving Tiger fried chicken, a line that shocked the golf world and was seen by many as a deeply offensive, out-of-line remark. It was clear then, this wasn't just about competition, it was personal, and that animosity ran deep. Over the years, every time they faced off, the tension was electric. Sergio had his moments, but Tiger always seemed to come out on top, adding salt to the wound. And while they both tried to brush it off or play nice, their interactions stayed ice cold. Despite all their individual success, they never reached any kind of truce. Even now, it's hard to imagine these 2 ever burying the hatchet. So let's jump on to number 6. The 2014 Women's British Open, where Michelle Wie and Stacey Lewis were both top players, but had very different approaches to the game. Michelle, known for her towering drives and unique style, had a particularly distinct putting stance, the tabletop. Imagine this. She would bend almost horizontally over the ball, making her putts with intense concentration. It was unusual, no doubt, but it was part of her game, and it worked for her. And then there was Stacey Lewis, the world number 1, a traditionalist who clearly wasn't a fan of Michelle's style. During the Open, Stacey openly criticized Wie's style. calling it unnecessary and disrespectful to other players. For someone as high-profile as Stacy, to publicly call out another player's approach was pretty bold, and it didn't sit well with everyone. Stacy didn't outright accuse Michelle of breaking rules, but the message was clear. She didn't see Michelle's game as legitimate. But Michelle? She didn't flinch. She brushed off Stacy's comments, sticking to her signature style and continuing to play her game, even as the tension lingered in the air. Coming in at number 5, imagine two best friends who take on the world together, unstoppable as a team, until suddenly, everything changes. That's what happened with Patrick Reed and Jordan Spieth. They were the dream team at the Ryder Cup, dominating in 2014 and then again in 2016, feeding off each other's energy and tearing up the course like an unbeatable duo. But beneath the high fives and fist bumps, cracks were already forming. Reed and Spieth were polar opposites. Spieth was calm, focused, and kept his drama off the course. And Reed? He was fiery, outspoken, and didn't hesitate to stir things up if things didn't go his way. By 2018, at the Ryder Cup in Paris, the cracks had split wide open. They weren't paired together this time, and Reed was furious. In a bombshell interview with the New York Times, Reed didn't hold back, accusing Spieth of not wanting to play with him. He went even further, saying he didn't care if he liked his partner, as long as it helped the team win. It was a brutal, public betrayal. Spieth kept his silence, but Reed's words sent shockwaves, casting a dark shadow over their once dominant partnership. Reed felt betrayed, and Spieth, the one who avoided drama, was suddenly dragged into a very public feud. It just goes to show that in golf, you don't have to be best friends to play together. But when friendships sour, everyone can feel the heat. So next up at number 4, we have another dynamic duo, but this one took a turn you wouldn't believe. Imagine the 2005 Masters at Augusta National, a place where the stakes are always sky high and the world's top golfers push themselves to the limit. Phil Mickelson and Vijay Singh, two legends at the peak of their careers, were neck and neck. But it wasn't just the competition that was intense. Behind the scenes, it was downright explosive. Vijay, known for his strict work ethic and laser focus, was not one to overlook the smallest details, especially when they involved other players' habits that could affect the game. The drama unfolded when Vijay took issue with Phil's choice of spikes. Phil had recently switched to 8mm metal spikes, which, according to Vijay, were leaving noticeable marks all over the greens. This wasn't the kind of complaint you usually hear at Augusta, especially during the Masters. But Vijay wasn't about to let it slide. He made sure everyone knew about it, and the word quickly got back to Phil. That's when things went nuclear. Phil overheard Vijay airing his grievances to other players, and instead of brushing it off, he confronted Vijay directly. And what did he do? Phil, always one for the dramatic, challenged Vijay to settle it outside. Yeah, you heard that right. Two golf legends ready to throw down over a pair of spikes. The tension in that locker room was thicker than the Georgia humidity. Years later, they've managed to stay civil on the course, but everyone knows the truth. Some rivalries cut too deep to ever really heal. I guess in golf, even the smallest spikes can leave some pretty big scars. Now you've reached our top 3, and trust me, you definitely can't skip this one. But before we move on, please subscribe. Or don't, but then I'll know who really has the yips. So, again, number 3. This rivalry is proof that words can come back to bite hard. Back in 2000, Stephen Ames, never one to hold his tongue, had some seriously bold opinions about Tiger Woods. He didn't just throw shade, he went for the jugular, calling Tiger spoiled, claiming he didn't respect other players, and suggesting that Tiger's ego was bigger than the game itself. Ames believed that with all his money and fame, Tiger should be a little more considerate. Big talk, especially about a guy who was transforming the sport and becoming a legend. Fast forward to 2006 at the World Match Play Championship, and Tiger finally had his chance to respond. But he didn't need words. He let his clubs do the talking. Paired with Ames in a head-to-head showdown, Tiger delivered one of the most brutal beatdowns in golf history, obliterating Ames 9-8. To put that into perspective, Tiger finished Ames off with nearly half the match left to play, a rare and humiliating display of dominance. It was a message served cold, and you can bet Tiger savored every moment of it. So, moral of the story? If you're going to trash talk Tiger Woods, be prepared to eat your words, along with a slice of humble pie the size of a golf course. Next, we are at number 2. It's the 18th hole at TPC Harding Park, and tensions are already high. Keegan Bradley, known for his fiery on-course personality, was wrapping up what had already been a long, intense match. But then, out of nowhere, Miguel Angel Jimenez, a player famous for his distinctive look and laid-back attitude, decides to jump in with some advice. Jimenez noticed Bradley was about to take a drop and, as a seasoned veteran, felt the need to point out that Keegan should take 2 club lengths instead of 1. But here's the thing. Keegan didn't ask for advice, and he definitely didn't appreciate the interruption. The situation escalated fast. Keegan's caddy, Steve Hale, immediately stepped in, telling Jimenez to back off. But Jimenez, he wasn't backing down for anyone. He fired right back, turning what should have been a simple rule reminder into an all-out showdown. Keegan jumped in to defend his caddy, squaring up face-to-face with Jimenez, letting him know just how unwelcome his help was. The argument got heated, with both players practically nose-to-nose, all happening right there on the fairway for everyone to see. Later, Keegan reflected on the incident, saying it was a heat-of-the-moment reaction, but he made one thing crystal clear. He'd stand up for his caddy no matter what. And Jimenez? He didn't apologize, not even close. He doubled down, insisting he was just enforcing the rules like any veteran would. And now, saving the best for last, here is number 1 on the list. If golf rivalries could be scripted like a soap opera, the saga of Brooks Koepka versus Bryson DeChambeau would be the ultimate plot. These two players couldn't be more different. Brooks, the no-nonsense powerhouse, keeps his game sharp and his words sharper. Bryson, on the other hand, is the mad scientist of golf, calculating every angle and dragging out each shot like he's defusing a bomb. The clash began in 2019, when Brooks, famously impatient with slow play, publicly ripped into players who took forever on the course. Everyone knew he meant Bryson, but he stopped just short of calling him out by name, for now. Bryson wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back, defending his methodical style, and things only heated up from there. The slow play comments quickly turned into jabs about fitness. By 2020, the digs turned personal. Bryson, who had packed on muscle and bulked up significantly, went on Twitch and made a joke about Brooks's physique, saying his abs didn't quite live up to the hype in the ESPN body issue. Brooks hit back with a brutal response, posting a photo of his 2 trophies, a not-so-subtle flex on his 2 US Open wins. The best part? The real fireworks were just beginning. In 2021, the feud hit new heights. During a PGA Championship interview, Brooks was caught rolling his eyes and sighing as Bryson walked by, a moment that went viral and unleashed a wave of memes. The message was clear. Bryson's mere presence was enough to drive Brooks up the wall. That's it. Oh no, it's not. These 2 big kids just couldn't grow up. Now we're at the Memorial Tournament, and things took to a whole new level. Fans started taunting Bryson with chants of, "Let's go, Brooksy," a jab that Brooks slyly encouraged on social media. But when Bryson had enough and called in security to eject the chanting fans, Brooks went nuclear. He posted a video thanking those fans and even offered free beer to everyone who got kicked out. Now both players have joined LIV, fueling their rivalry even more as team captains, squaring off against each other. But then, out of nowhere, the most unexpected that could ever happen, happened. The 2 alpha males, Bryson and Brooks, are joining forces. Yes, you heard that right. They're teaming up to take on PGA Tour titans Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler in a high-stakes, made-for-TV showdown in Las Vegas. Fans are losing their minds over this shocking twist, as Brooks and Bryson put their famous feud on ice to battle 2 of golf's biggest names. This is the ultimate clash, former enemies uniting as teammates, and it's all happening in Sin City. Now, don't miss the next showdown. There's another video waiting for you right in the middle of the screen. Enjoy.